Alright, welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga. I have a dog, so you'll see me trying to practice equanimity here with the DOG who wants to play with the bee. So let's see how I last. He puts it right at my feet. So how can I do this? Once I throw the ball, I'm in a deadly game of eternal pursuit. So take a moment just to sit there and relax. Let the eyes close. And become aware of all the distractions in your environment. And let the distractions simply be a part of what is happening in this moment. And then let your attention drift into your body, particularly the parts of the body you want to protect or nurture, stretch. Take a deeper breath in and change your seating position to a kneeling position where you might want to sit on a block or two, or just simply sit. So you're just bringing a gentle stretch into the quads. I'm going to start with 2 blocks, see how that feels. Feels a bit high. So 1 block on its side feels good. And this will start to bring a gentle stretch in through the bottom of the feet, into the ankles, into the shins, over the knees, into the quads. Let your weight minutely shift forwards and backwards and just feel the difference in the sensations that brings into the thighs, into the quads. And notice how far forward you can come, almost into a bowing prostration, where you bring the weight forward over the knees. And if you come back a little further, you can lean back into your hands. And just notice the stretch start to move up into the hip flexors even. So just continue with those movements. Forwards. And backwards. You might bring the head and neck into this so that as you come forward, you start to feel the chin come down towards the chest, and you feel a traction in the low back. And as you come back, you start to support yourself in through the hands and lift the chin up, feeling the arching of the back. And just notice how that feels. So you're kind of moving between this back bend and this child pose. Don't go away, go away. And start to find a position that feels good. For instance, when I lean back into my hands, I feel a big stretch sensation through the forearms into the shoulders. If you have a shoulder injury, just be careful of that. And as I come forward, I feel that traction move into my lower back. And then coming to stillness, pause. Close the eyes once again. And just notice what that's done for the body at the beginning of your practice. Slowly make your way to all fours. You can remove your props. Have some blocks handy. You can use your hands on blocks or the mat. We'll come into some cat and cow. Extend the left leg back and drop the ball of the foot, press out through the heel bone, just stretching, pushing through, feeling that through the legs, into the calf muscle, into the feet, and then slightly let it go so you feel the release of that pressure. Your weight will come forward over the hands and wrists, and then push back. So you're coming into this battering ram kind of motion, this pulsing forward and back. Just working on that back leg. And then keeping that leg straight, the toes pointed to the mat, start to raise it up behind you and then down to the mat. Push back into your battering ram, forward, raise up. So you've just added one extra movement to that leg motion. Pushing back, stretching, lifting. And then we'll add one more motion to that. Push back, float up, and then crunch. Bring the knee towards the head towards the knee. Back, drop, pulse, lift, crunch. Back, drop, pulse, lift, crunch. To add the last component, optional if you like, the next time you lift the diagonal limb, the right arm, and then crunch. Drop, pulse, lift, crunch with arm and leg. The next time you come to rest, pause, come back to child pose, feel that traction through the quads, into the feet, into the low back. Inhale, come up. We'll try the other side. Just shake out the hands if there's any tension in the wrists or fingers. Remember, you can use blocks as an alternative. Cat and cow, start. Extend the right leg, press back, get that initial stretch through the back of that right leg, and then start your battering ram, just releasing the pressure, coming forward and back. So you move the stretch sensation from the leg, the right leg, into the hands and arms and wrists as you come forward. You can also use fists if the wrists get a little tight, a little sore. And then add the leg lift. So 2 movements. Add the crunch, so we come into that third layer. Then you can add the opposite limb. One more and then come to child pose, let everything go. Slowly make your way up to Vajrasana. Once again, you can use the block for support if you need to. Settle down. And in Vajrasana, just feeling the stretch through the limbs, particularly the front limbs. Once again, if it gets too much, bring some support. While we're in this position, let's just do some gentle shoulder work. We'll just start with taking the hands and tapping the shoulder blades. And then with straight arms, just bringing them behind, clasping the fingers, pulling back through the fingers, through the hands, lengthening the arms, stretching the chest and front shoulders. So up, tap, back, clasp, pull and stretch. And then release, bringing the hands out to the side, palms up, shoulder taps, just open, elbow movement. And then Goddess. And with Goddess, simply allowing the hands to drop down into Scarecrow, and then rotating back up into Goddess, just working the rotator cuffs in a different way. And then pause, bringing the weight forward, Come up onto the shins into a kneeling position. And bringing the hands to the kidneys. So you bring them just above the buttocks, just above the waist. Thumbs might even touch. And you feel that grip. So from the side. Lifting the right hand up, sweep the right hand behind you and reach behind. Coming into that shoulder circle. Three times in each direction. So 3 circles and then go in the opposite direction. Pause, change arms. And 3 in this direction. And then if you have blocks handy, grab some blocks. And staying in that kneeling position, bring the blocks behind you. I like to even stand them on my feet sometimes. But you're going to bring the blocks behind you so you can lean back, pushing the hips forward, lifting the head up, squeezing the shoulder blades. Some people will be able to do this by bringing their hands to the ground. It's a little tight on my back to do that, so I'm going to use the blocks on the high setting. Keep pushing and squeezing the buttocks, pushing the hips forward so you feel that stretch right through the quads. No. Get out of there. And then release into child pose. Letting everything go. Inhale, come up. Extend the left leg behind you. Drop the ball of the foot. Feel that stretch once again through the left leg. And then bring the left knee to the left wrist. Drop the shin on the mat and work your left foot just underneath that right hip. And then start to walk your right foot back, your right knee back, starting to slowly stretch out through that left thigh. When you find a delicious stretch, pause. You might have blocks handy here as well. And point the toes of the back foot. So your back leg is getting the stretch through the hip flexor and ankle. Front leg is getting that stretch through the quad. Now from here, sway gently from side to side. Micro movements. Just feeling that out into the glutes. And your goal here is to eventually come forward with the weight of the torso onto your elbows, maybe your head to the floor or stacked fists. So you're working your way slowly to pigeon. Make sure it stays somewhat delicious. If it gets too much, just back off a little bit or come into your micro swaying. And once you're in this position, you can fidget and fiddle and micro adjust, and you might even like to stretch your arms out if that feels good. Stay here for another 3 to 5 breaths. Bring the hands back to lift the torso up, and staying in this position, sit into your left hip, so you bring your weight over to the left sit. It's like you're sitting backwards, weight's in the back left hip, and your legs have changed the stretch. There's no more stretch sensation in that front thigh, but adjust your front foot until the front thigh is kind of, or your front shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Bend the back knee so you have like a Z shape, a Z shape, where both knees are bent at 90 degrees. This is where the blocks might be helpful. So we're going to bring the weight over that front thigh. So we're coming into that front thigh in a slightly different way. You can rest your elbow on the block or the ground. And once again, I want you to micro adjust. I get a cramp in this back glute here, so I got to watch that. And now we're in deer pose. You can stay here with the elbow support, or you can reach the arms out once again. Walk the hands back. Before we go to the other side, just simply come onto your back and lift that front foot up. Hold the hamstring here and release the ankle with circles. First in one direction, then the other. And then knee bends and knee straightens. So just bringing some circulation back in to that leg. And then bring that left foot down onto your thigh. Grab your left knee with your right hand and simply come into a lumbar rotation, and take your left hand all the way back out from the shoulder onto the ground. Just stretching out through that glute. Gently release. Take a moment just to simply relax here. And then make your way back up onto all fours. We'll start with a little cat and cow. And then bringing your opposite knee up to your wrist, work the right foot underneath your left hip. And then you can start to walk your left knee back, coming in once again into that delicious stretch. Point the toes of that back foot. And start your micro movement part of the shape. So like a little kitten, just micro moving in the blanket, trying to settle into the shape. Once again, blocks can be a good prop here. If you feel too much on that right thigh, you can always wedge it with a pillow or blanket. Remember, the goal here is to just work towards pigeon, coming onto your elbows and outstretched arms if that appeals. And keep micro adjusting. You want this to be almost kneading, as in Knead, kneading like dough, like fingers in dough. You're kneading into the shape. Just notice how that outstretched with the arms feels for the shoulders and neck. Couple more breaths. And bringing the hands back to lift up the weight of the torso. Keeping the legs in the same position, just simply lean backwards into that right thigh. Changing the shape of the legs, right angles at the knees, preparing for deer pose. And you know, I'm on the grass here, it's sloping down, so it's a little more awkward for me at the moment, but I've got my block here to kind of level out the ground. You can start to lean the torso forward over the front thigh, using that micro kneading movements just to settle into this new shape. And once again, go to the position that feels good. I like to stretch my arms out. This gives that release in the shoulders and neck. Couple more breaths. And walking your hands back once again. When you come up, come onto your back. And we'll just work that right leg now. Grabbing the hamstring, straight leg. Start with the ankle release rotations. both directions. And then knee flexion, so you let the shin dangle and then you extend the leg up with the toes curled back. So this is going to get into the hamstring as well. And now that we've brought some blood flow back into that leg, come up onto all fours. Cat and cow. And child pose. Inhale, tabletop, curl the toes, push back into the back body, lifting the knees gently off the mat, bent knee, downward dog, walk out your dog. Notice how your legs feel. Now walk your hands back to a standing position, forward fold. So head down, you're just dangling, you're at the back of the mat perhaps. And drop the buttocks into a little crouching shape, and then straighten the legs and dangle. You might even grab the elbows into a forward hanging crossed arms position. And then releasing the hands, crouching, pushing the hips back, coming. You can even widen the feet into a low crouch. Malasana. And then coming up, dangling, forward fold. Walk the hands up the shin, up the thigh, so you're supporting the back as you slowly stand up, right, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Roll the shoulders back and down, squeeze the buttocks so you really tighten that. Hands to the side, mountain pose. Come a little forward here. And then gently lifting up, Alleluia, and then back down. Just feeling those shoulder movements. Alleluia, and down. Now the next time you come into Alleluia, bring that right hand forward, left hand back, and create these big alternate circles. Left hand back, right hand forward. So you're just turning the body, rotating the shoulders, turning the neck, one hand forward, one hand backwards, and then reverse the direction of the circles. Look at this beautiful creek behind me, Werry Creek, and then pause. And from here we'll simply do some knee lift and hug. And as you lift, I saw something today that I found an interesting perspective on balance. It says, we don't find balance, we create it. And I thought, wow, that's a really nice way to think about balance. We're creating it. So as you lift, all your nerves, your proprioceptive organs, your ears, your eyes, your breath, everything's finding its way to balance, and you're creating that sense of balance. It's not something that's already there that you find. I like that. It's just a different way to think about balance. Now the next time you lift, pause. So I'm standing on my left foot and I'm going to lift my right knee. Doesn't matter which one, we're going to do both. And grab the foot into your standing pigeon. Stand tall, find or create your balance. It's a new way to guide myself into the shape, create my balance. I sometimes like to smile when I'm holding a balance pose, because I'm not sure frowning helps. And then pause, other side. Grabbing the foot, standing pigeon, create your balance. Now for this next shape, well, we'll see how we get in there. You might not like to stand near a wall for support. I don't have a wall, but I'll do my best. And we're kind of doing the same thing, except instead of bringing the knee up forward, we're bringing it back behind us, pulling the foot in, stretching the quadricep. Alternating from side to side. That beautiful bird sound in the background is the magpie. So create your balance as best as you can. If you're using a wall, just do fingertip control. Let go sometimes, touch it for control. Now the next time you lift the left leg, pause. If you've got the wall or even a chair there, start to bring the hand forward, and as you do, push the foot into the hand, lifting the foot up, breathing, creating balance. Exhale, gently release. Pause. So a chair in front of you can be a nice prop. That's a nice way to do it as well. Try the other side. Start with the capture of the foot, bending at the waist, standing leg strong, helping to create the balance, and then the arm will be a counterbalance. And then you can start to push the foot and lift the foot. I lost my balance, you can keep going. So I lost my balance, seems like the counter of finding my balance, so I have to find a new word of saying I lost my balance. I stopped creating my balance. Exhale, gently release. Come back to your mountain pose. And in mountain pose, simply notice how that's left your limbs feeling. And then a little wider stance. Grab your hips and start to do some hip circles. Notice how that's feeling for the hips after all that leg work, that static work. And then the other direction. Good. And let's continue that circular motion with the feet together, knees bent. Grab the knees, and we're simply going to rotate the knees and ankles so as the knees go back, the legs straighten. As the knees come forward, they bend. And then once again in the other direction. And let's move this rotation into more of the upper body, particularly the spine, neck and shoulders. Feet widely on the mat. Let the arms become like floppy coat sleeves and start the swinging quite small. So the coat sleeves aren't flopping wildly. Pivot on your foot. So as you turn to the right, the left foot pivots onto the ball, and the other side vice versa. Start to add the neck movements, so the shoulders and neck start to free up into the movement, and you may find the floppy coat sleeves start to swing a little more from the momentum. Not rigid arms, relaxed arms, so the flop is really coming from the hips. So you can even bend a little bit as you move. Bending the knees, just allowing that motion to free up hips. Well, basically every joint, from the ankles all the way to the neck. And you may have heard me say this before. I was once in yoga teacher training, and the instructor said if you could only do one pose a day, this would be the one to do. So it's considered highly important in, I guess, Tai Chi, yoga, many martial arts. And part of the reason is you're lubricating so many joints here. Let's go for another 5 breaths. And after 5 breaths, start to slow it down. And as you slow it down, just let it be like slowing down, not putting the brakes on, but taking your foot off the gas. So you just feel this micro slowing. And when you feel you've still got some movement going, but you feel like you could close your eyes without losing balance or fainting, just close your eyes so you feel the sway get smaller and smaller and smaller until perhaps there's no visible sway, but you can still feel the imprint or the echo of the sway. And release. Exhale. Reaching up. Forward fold. Walk your hands out once again. High plank. Drop knees, chest, chin, inchworm. Drop the hips. Drop the head. Squeeze the elbows into the ribs and slowly squeeze the buttocks. And as you do, start to lift the head, lift the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades, point the toes, squeeze the butt, hold your cobra, and then exhale, come all the way back. We'll do one warrior pose before we come down. Come back to downward dog, right foot high to the sky. Step that right foot forward to that right wrist. Back leg straight. Now take the back foot, lining it up behind the front heel. Keeping that knee bent, start to slowly lift yourself up into that warrior two shape. Float the hands out. Let's do a shoulder tap here. Straighten the front leg. And as you do, lean forward over that front leg. Windmill your arms so that the back arm comes up, the bottom arm goes down towards the floor. You might have a slight micro bend in that front knee so you don't lock it out in your triangle. Now bending that front knee, rotating up. Feel the focus and concentration on your warrior two. And why not? Let's do a reverse warrior while we're here. Coming back to horizontal, windmill that left hand down to the front of the mat, step back, downward dog. Left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward, hands stay on the mat. Feel that stretch in the back leg, runner's stretch. And now we'll drop the back heel in alignment with the front heel. That brings the torso around to the long edge of the mat and you slowly lift up into your warrior two. Straightening the front leg, slowly reach forward. Feel that stretch right up through that back hamstring into the groin. Rotate your propellers, your arms. Protect that front knee with a micro bend. And now bending that front knee pronouncedly, come back through warrior two. Dropping the back hand, reverse warrior. Through warrior two. Windmill, backhand forward, step back, downward dog. High plank. Now option here to do your cobra or come through low plank and upward dog. Gently drop your knees in whatever pose and come to child. And make your way onto your back. Let yourself go. Let your practice fall away. Let yourself simply relax and enjoy the support of your mat, the earth. Consciously relax the digits, fingers and toes. You might even wiggle them a bit or clench them and release. Just to feel the contrast between movement, clenching and release. And then bring your attention to relaxing the face and head, externally and internally. The skin, lips, eyelids, skull. And let that relaxation soak into the muscles and nerves of the face and head. Soak into the glands, the bones. And let the head become a big sponge of relaxation that becomes so relaxed it sends the excess ease into the rest of the body, the neck, the shoulders, the torso, all the way down to the feet. Until you feel like you become almost cloud-like. You're almost drifting rather than sinking. Floating. Stay in Shavasana until you're ready to stretch. when you're ready to stretch, you might find all sorts of ways to stretch the body slowly. See if you can bring Shavasana with the movements now. So these stretches aren't effort, they're simply easeful and delicious. Unjarring. And even when you roll to one side to come to a seated position, take that ease with you, that slowness, that slow morning awakening feeling. And you can sit in any way you want, but if you'd like to come back to your kneeling position just to see how the legs are feeling. The ankles, quads, the knees. Thank you for joining me today from beautiful Werri Beach, Gerringong, New South Wales. Namaste.